What the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you, another one. And this is the Game of Thrones Power Hour. And in the Power Hour, we will talk about one character or one scene from Game of Thrones Season 7 and break that down. And this is what we do every day. And as always, with me, rocking with me on this Power Hour is none other than my man 50 Grand, Mo Genie.
What's going on, folks? It's Moji, the king of the North Fish, Mo Genie, baby. And we here, man. We talking Arya. We talking everything that happened last and in the future. Now to the present.
No doubt. We breaking down Arya Stark, one of my favorite characters. Still left in the show because we know Stannis is out. So definitely my favorite character left in the show. Now, Arya Stark last season, we've seen that it was a little bit, I don't really know how to put it. You know what I mean? It seems like the things that happened to her last season, it seems like it happened 2 seasons ago. It's maybe because it's so unbelievable. I ain't sure. You know, it's just the things that happened. Were you happy, Mogini, with everything the way Arya was portrayed last season?
Man, the Arya situation last year was so confusing. There were so many videos, so many predictions, so many theories on what the hell was going on in Braavos. You know, she had the waif chasing her like the Terminator. And then, you know, she befriends that old actress lady who was getting her life turned upside down by the younger actress.
All right, so let's start right there real quick. The whole play situation. Did you dig the play? Did you like the way they portrayed the whole play?
The thing is, when they introduced the actress, everybody thought the older actress, was the waif. So the way everybody was manipulated into thinking that, oh my God, Arya is about to get got by the waif, and the waif is hiding as a faceless man, as the actress, you know, and they set that up and everybody was jumping and thinking that this was another mystery. And then you find out that, oh no, the actress is legit. She's getting got by a younger actress, and Arya is on the troop, and she's just there to learn. You know, I mean, there was too much mystery going on in there, man. What did you think about the actress?
I liked the whole play situation. I thought the play was well put together.
The play was dope. If we're talking about just the play and not everything surrounding the characters in the play, then yes, the actual play was brilliant. But I mean the whole situation surrounding the troupe of actors.
Yeah, we first was talking about the play itself. This the actual play, the actors playing the role of drunk Ned Stark or fucked up Ned Stark and Joffrey and everything else. Just that whole situation.
Yeah, the actual play itself was brilliant. That shit made you feel like Shakespeare himself did it. It was funny. It was silly. It was serious. There's so many adjectives, the way that they portrayed how Ned Stark lost his head, the way they portrayed Tyrion, you know, it was brilliantly done. And this was TV back in the days, folks. This is how people got their news and television back in the Middle Ages. They would go watch plays. And you would go to a play, you would sit down, and you would listen to a William Shakespeare play about some things that happened, you know, in faraway lands. And a lot of the knowledge that people got from far distances were transversed through plays. And this was great, man.
Yeah, I love the way they did it. I thought the actors did a really good job. I love the way they portrayed everything about it. And just the way the different take of actually what really happened, how it's seen overseas, the propaganda, the way these stories spread. And that brings us to the main actress in it and the actress playing Sansa who wants this chick executed. And for some reason, she has enough money to hire a faceless man. And that is what gets to me, one of the contradictions of this whole Arya situation that went down is we understand that it's supposed to be a king's ransom to hire a faceless man. It's supposed to cost you more than anything, a dragon's egg. It's supposed to cost you your whole fortune to hire a faceless man. How did this woman, she's not the star of the play, so she's not got a lot of money. She's not getting paid more than the highest actor. How is that going? How is she able to hire a faceless man to begin with?
Man, it is said that to be able to hire a faceless man, it's supposed to take 10 years worth of savings, or a dragon's egg, unhatched dragon's egg still in stone form. It's supposed to take a king's ransom, just like you said. And for a low budget actress to be able to just hire one, it did not make sense. The true believers in this whole story that love this thing that George R.R. Martin has done, it really crapped on our food. It was like having a bird poop on your car right after you got out of the car wash. You feel me?
No doubt about it. It was when it just started to change. You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm conflicted about the whole Arya situation, because there's certain things that were really good, but then the lows and the stuff that they took liberties with were just so bad that it's hard for me to overlook a lot of these situations. You know what I mean? So we go through that. She gets into beef with them, and then we have the waif. Now, when Arya gets stabbed, this is ridiculous to me, because it's to the point where she's basically strolling, smiling. Like if you see the scene, she's smiling with her chin all the way up, like she doesn't have a care in the world. And she allows this old lady to walk up on her. And I think everyone, when they seen the old lady, knew actually what was going on. Everyone but Arya. And not only did she get stabbed, it wasn't like she got sliced, like a razor blade slice. It was like Wolverine's claw went into her stomach. Right, and she took it all the way through. And not only did it go in, it got twisted. And from a headbutt into a roll into the sea, she's able to recover from this. I don't know how. No, maybe the Starks have some type of wolf blood healing factor, some Wolverine shit that we don't know about. That could be true. I don't know. But I'm saying it was just a little bit ridiculous to me, that whole situation. What about you, Mo?
If you guys remember, last season, I did a video where my video specifically zoomed in on the twist of the knife, the way the knife went into the flesh and got twisted. I mean, they didn't have to show that. If they wanted to make it believable, please don't show a twist.
That's right. It's like when you're stroking your chick and you're going straight in, or when you do the swivel with the hips and you twist yourself in there. That's the difference. It's a big difference in that one twist. That's what I'm trying to say here. Mo, please go on. But that's what it is. Why show the twist?
If you remember last season, I zoomed in on that twist from 5 angles if I could have, man. It is so unbelievable. Any knife, go get a pocket knife. Go get you a Swiss Army knife, stab it into a tree, and then twist. You will see the circumference. You will see the radius. When you twist the knife, you are now taking the blade's longest edge. The longest side, you're taking the width of the blade, and you are now doing a circular motion. When you do a circular motion, even with a toy knife, it could be a baby knife, no matter what it is. When you do a circular clockwise motion, you are now lacerating the flesh into a counterclockwise position, which now will loosen the flesh in an unnatural form. This is how you are taught in hunting. This is how you're taught in the Boy Scouts. If you want a quick death, you twist after the blade enters the flesh.
A twist. So she survives the twist, the swirl, whatever you want to call it, and somehow gets out of this scot-free and then is able to kill the waif off screen. We've seen a couple of off-screen deaths, and I don't like any of them. I don't think any of them, with the Blackfish off-screen death, this waif off-screen death. I like the whole candle flicker. I thought that was hot, but I think we deserved to see Arya's skill in action and to take out this waif. I think we deserve, after all that build-up, we deserve to see that, and we did not get to see that.
We didn't get to see that, and we will repeat again. We loved the play, but we hated everything else that had to do surrounding the play. They built it up so long. Remember when they showed the waif inside of the actress's apartment, and Arya gets up and finds out that the waif killed the actress, and that deaded the mystery that everybody thought the actress was the waif hiding. And once you find out that the actress wasn't the waif, then you realize what the hell is going on here. Then you get the Turbo Terminator Man running scene all throughout Braavos. And remember, everybody thought Syrio Forel would jump out of the alleyway and save Arya from the waif. Remember how long every website had those theories up that Syrio Forel was the shadow?
Because the guy had an afro. That was it. That's all they were going on. They weren't going on anything else but a hairstyle, a goddamn afro. And they said it was him.
And on top of the Syrio Forel, remember the man wearing the green tunic? The theories about the man in the green tunic in the crowd when Arya's running away from the waif?
And I'll say exactly what I said back there. Fuck the man in the green tunic. Straight up, man. Straight up. And so that's where we got left off and everything with Arya Stark. I mean, after this, we get the Frey situation going down in there. I will say I enjoyed the Frey pie. I will say I definitely enjoyed seeing that. I'm glad it got in there some way. I thought this was a good way to put it in. What do you think?
D&D, sorry to cut you off, man, but D&D saved Arya's plot last season by giving us the Frey death. If they would have ended the season with Arya getting a stab and a twist by a knife and falling into the river, and then surviving that fall into the river with a blood wound that would have bled for days and cut the season right there, they would have been so panned publicly that critics wouldn't have even given it a 5 out of 10. They would have gave that season a 4 out of 10 just for Arya's plot holes alone. But they saved the season with Arya showing up in the Riverlands and killing, basically giving Lady Stoneheart's story to Arya. They saved it, man. If they didn't give us the Lady Stoneheart revenge plot on killing the Frey, killing him, Arya's season would have been down the drain. Do you agree?
There's no doubt about it. That's the only thing that saved that. That's the only thing that I liked. We had to get that. We weren't going to get the Mandalay in there in any other significant way. So it just made sense to give it to Arya. I thought that Maisie Williams executed that well. That brings us to this season. Now, we have seen a couple of clips from her. Not a lot in these trailers, in the clips of the trailers. Not a lot. We do see her at one scene peeking underneath a bed. Looks like she's searching for something. We see her another scene blowing cold out of her mouth. Looks like someone's looking at her or something is looking at her from a distance. And we see her on a horse. Now, we do believe, and I believe, that she's going to make her way back to Winterfell. But the most important thing I think that we could say that we have seen is really the pictures that she's been seeing with Peter Baelish's cat's paw dagger. Every picture, promotional photo that we have seen Arya in, it has this dagger on full display. It's not being hidden. It's on full display. So what does that mean? Does Peter Baelish just give it up to Arya? She has a Valyrian steel dagger. What does that mean to you, Mo? Why does she have this dagger, and how did she get her hands on this dagger?
Who has the dagger?
Well, this was Peter Baelis's dagger, the one that was used to almost kill Bran. That dagger from the Cat's Paw assassin.
Where did that dagger go now?
Now, I guess the only place logical that we can actually say is that the last person that is in possession with the dagger that we see is Peter Baelish.
So you think that Arya could get the dagger now?
Well, in every picture that they have shown in promotions for Entertainment Weekly and USA Weekly and all those other publications out there, there are pictures of Arya Stark with the Cat's Paw dagger on her hip.
Oh, I did not see these pictures. I can't believe it. This is live on air. I am now shocked. I am now shocked live on air. Are you telling me pictures have come out with Arya with the cat's paws knife?
There are definitely pictures of it, or of her with the cat's paw the cat's paws knife, dagger on her, without a doubt. It's definitely the same exact Valyrian steel bladed dagger. And she's wearing it on full display. I know you're the clip puller upper. I'm just Google up Arya Stark cat's paw dagger, and we'll put that on display for the people to see out there. You know what I mean? So they get a good shot of it. I know there's one with Entertainment Weekly, one of them where Jon Snow was holding her up in the air, and you could see it clear as day in that picture. I would pull up pictures of my computer, but hey, ain't no telling what I can pull up.
Let's do this for a second. Is my screen share on right now?
It is. I'll put it right. Want me to put it on you right now?
I got it. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's a recent Entertainment Weekly cover of Game of Thrones star Macy Williams raised some eyebrows about a famous dagger's return and what it means for the future of Arya Stark. HBO's been pretty hush-hush about the reveal, which first discovered on Reddit, but it looks like one of the network's European services might be finally admitting Cat's Paw is back. HBO Nordic shared an image on its Facebook page over the weekend as part of HBO's Prepare for Winter campaign to get fans to binge watch the entire show over the 6 weeks. The subject of the photo is a series of kitchen knives hanging on the wall, except one of the things is not like the others. It's the Cat's Paw's dagger, a Valyrian steel weapon that hasn't been seen since season 1. It could be unrelated to season 7, of course, but that would make it the biggest and weirdest coincidence in the history of Westeros. Okay, well, the picture is not actually of her.
Oh, right there. You see that picture that you showed right there is her. She's got the dagger right there on her hip.
So they've got two pictures. They've got a picture of the knife with a bunch of other knives.
Yeah, with a bunch of Ginzu blades. A bunch of Ginzu knives up there.
Her
and oh, it looks like that Mo dropped out real quick. I don't know what happened there. So, but we have seen the picture of the Cat's Paw dagger, and we will get back into the Cat's Paw dagger. I don't know what happened to Bo. It's like what happened with me and James Johnson last night when I was on his show. It just went off on me. I don't know. I don't know what exactly happened there. But maybe he just got so excited about this reveal, he just had to go research it real quick and jump right out there and stuff like that. So what up to all my people up here joining us real quick? I really do appreciate that. You know what I mean? What up to D. Mitchell? What up to P. San? What up to Kevin Cleary? What up to Bernie Roosevelt? What up to Heroin P? What up to all y'all out there? What up to Amber? What up to New York NYDA? What up to Lord Dom Snow? What up to Dan N? What up to James Clooney? What up to Vinny Raymond, the Ram? What up to everybody out there? You know what I mean? Yeah, he did pull a goddamn Leroy Jenkins, but yeah. So that's basically where we're at with Arya Stark. Now, I don't want to repeat myself again, so I'm trying not to wait for him to come back if he's coming back to say it. But I'm thinking that it's like this. This is the way I see it. And I have a video on this about the cat's paw dagger. You go check that out, Teflon TV. Go see that and go subscribe and go like the video and everything else. I want to know what y'all think, and please put this in the comments. I want you to tell me, why are they giving Arya the cat's paw dagger? Why does she have this dagger? I want you to put it in the comment section. To you, what is your reason why she has it? Now, to me, I'm going to say it like this is my reason. I think that anyone who gets a Valyrian steel blade of any time will kill a White Walker. So I believe that they're giving Arya Stark this dagger in order for her to kill a White Walker. That at some point, Arya Stark will kill a White Walker. And that's all I'm saying. You don't have to agree with me on it. You can have your own opinion on it. And I want to hear what those opinions are in the comment section. I want you to put in there and tell me straight up, what do you think is going on with Arya and the damn cat's paw dagger? Why does she have this dagger? And what's going on with that? All right. Now, so we also see, how is she going to get her hands on this dagger? That is what is going on here. How is she going to get it? Peter Baelish was in control of this dagger. Now, we see in one of the clips of the show that we see her looking underneath the bed. Now, is she hiding underneath the bed? Is she looking for something underneath that bed? Does she find this dagger when she is snooping around? Is that Peter Baelish's room? Or is Peter Baelish going to give her this dagger? Or is she going to kill Peter Baelish and take this dagger? And when will all this stuff happen? Will it happen quick? Will it happen late in the game? That is the questions I have about the dagger. But I think that is the most interesting thing that we really get from Arya Stark this whole season, is really going to be her surrounding this dagger. Now, I think we also have to look at Arya Stark this season, we have to look at the things that she learned as a faceless man. And the number one thing that she learned as a faceless man was that how to make sure people do not lie to you, right? She was lying. The waif was smacking her around for lying. So she has a lie detection ability. She has a Maury Povich built into her. She understands if you are or not the motherfucking father just from looking at you. So I think that Peter Baelish and his lies, it may not work out for him in his lies and shit like that when he comes around the truth fucking machine, Arya Stark. Mo, you back with us?
Yeah, I lagged out for some reason. But the point I was getting to is I do not believe it's the same blade. I don't know if you guys caught that at the end of what I was saying before I timed out. The blades are different. The blades are different. One has an edge going in an upwards fashion, and the blade on the cover of the Entertainment Weekly is going in a downwards motion. I do not believe it's the same blade.
You think it's two different blades?
Absolutely.
I think that the fact that they're showing it, that it has to be this Valyrian steel dagger. But hearing someone say it's not the same blade is the first time I've ever heard anyone say that, which it quite possibly could be something that looks similar. The hilt is exactly the same. So when we're just judging it by the hilt, I can't see really any differences in there.
You have to judge a blade by the actual blade, not the handle. The blade itself are two different blades. I can do the screen share again. One is going upwards, and you can clearly see it going upwards. And then the cat's paw blade goes in a downwards motion.
I would need to see.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking.
I hear you. And I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong on it at all. I quite possibly could be right. So let's just say, devil advocate real quick, that this is the same blade, right? Why do you think, what's the significance of Arya Stark holding this blade if she does have this blade? A Valyrian steel dagger.
Why on earth would they give Arya the cat's paw blade? It absolutely makes no sense. The only logical thing that could be it's like giving Longclaw to freaking Dario. It's like giving Longclaw to Tyrion. It just doesn't make sense. Arya has no connection to the dagger, no connection to the blade. Actually, a second thing just came in my mind. I said it could only be one reason why they could give this blade to Arya, but now I've got two possibilities. Live on air, Mogini's mind wanders. The first possibility is they're giving Arya this dagger because they want Arya to continue being Lady Stoneheart. They want Arya to have the Stoneheart role in the show. Okay? They want her to take over Catelyn Stark knowing about the blade. Catelyn Stark knew the blade was from the cat's paw, was from the Lannisters. All right? So Arya is the one to take over that plot line. Number two possibility, live on air, it just came to my noggin. Live. The other possibility being that, oh man, I just lost my train of thought. Holy crap,
see,
man.
The cat's paw dagger has gotten him twisted. His mind is wandered.
Yo, this shit just blew my mind, man.
I was saying it's like this. If you got a Valyrian steel blade, to me, that means you have to kill a White Walker. So I think that it means that Arya Stark is going to kill a White Walker. If that is the blade. That's my take from it. There's no other reason. I think anyone in this fucking show that has a Valyrian steel blade will have to fight a White Walker. That's the only reason why they're giving you these blades. If you don't have this blade, you're not fighting a White Walker unless you have some type of axe that's made out of dragon glass. If not, you must have a Valyrian steel blade. And I think that, or a hammer. I think if you have that, you're going to fight a White Walker. So I think it's quite possible that Arya could run into a White Walker and have to kill a White Walker.
That absolutely makes sense. I'm on board with that. Piggybacking on that, that's the move. If you get a Valyrian steel blade this late in the game, you're only using it to kill White Walkers. Yeah, okay, sure. She could get the Lady Stoneheart plot. Everybody was so disappointed not seeing Lady Stoneheart last season that they resurrected it. Dan and Dave resurrected the plot by giving it to Arya. So now if you give Arya the blade to finish what Catelyn Tully started when Bran fell, season 1, you know, that's cool. But giving the blade to Arya so that she could fight the Night's King and the White Walkers is even better and an even better maneuver. And I'd love to see it happen.
Now, the fact that Peter Baelish is the person that we know is in possession of this blade that we're saying the last time we've seen it, does this mean that Arya is going to kill Peter Baelish and get the blade? Or does this mean Peter Baelish is going to give it to her as a gift to win her loyalty over from Sansa? Or do you think that she's going to snoop around, as we've seen in one of the scenes, her looking underneath the bed and just happen to stumble upon the blade? And will she know about the situation that happened with this blade with Bran? Because she wasn't there when that went down at Winterfell.
No, she wasn't. Arya will have to be clued in by somebody who knows the details. And who is that somebody? That somebody is the Hound. The Hound will give her everything she needs to know about that blade. The Hound was at Winterfell season 1. The Hound was at Winterfell season 1. The Hound was at Winterfell season 1, ladies and gentlemen. And the Hound will let her know that the cat's paw was hired by the Lannisters and that blade belonged to Peter Baelish because he saw Peter Baelish with it in King's Landing. Not only was the Hound in Winterfell season 1, he was in King's Landing. He would have known that that blade belonged to Robert Baratheon. He will give her everything she needs to know, and I can't wait.
No doubt. The Hound could be a definite person to fill Arya in. So do you think this means that Arya will kill Peter Baelish and take possession of the blade?
Absolutely. If they go down the route of Arya taking over the Lady Stoneheart role in the show, she will get clued in by the Hound or even Varys. There's two people that could clue her in that it's their benefit to see Peter Baelish die. The Hound doesn't really care if Peter Baelish dies, but the Hound will know that the blade was meant to kill Bran, and if he has a change of heart, so be it. But Varys has every possibility to want to see Peter Baelish dead. If he's the one that clues in Arya about that blade, he will die. We both agree that more than likely Sweet Robin and Sansa will be the death of Peter Baelish, but the possibility of Arya being the one to finish him off leads to the Lady Stoneheart plot, and then they can still let Arya keep the blade to go fight against the White Walkers. So you have two ways, two forks in the road that this way could ride for Arya.
Yeah, it does look like, most likely from her showing the blade, that Arya at some point will use the blade to kill Peter Baelish. We have seen her with daggers already, Walder Frey. We have seen her with Meryn Trent. So she is handy with the daggers. That's just her method of execution seems to be the throat slit. It seems like Peter Baelish could get that with that Valyrian steel blade right across his neck. Maybe from the order of Sansa, or order Arya to do it after Arya catches him in a lie. Or quite possible it could be a faceless man game that Peter Baelish gets caught up in when he thinks he's speaking to someone and it's really Arya what he's speaking to, and gets bagged up that way. And that's what exposes him to Sansa. And that Sansa gives the word to Arya, because Brienne could probably be with Jon beyond the wall on the mission, so she could have Arya be the one to take him out, and Arya slit the throat of him.
Yeah, Sansa ain't gonna get her hands dirty. It'll be a manipulation of Sweet Robin, or it will be a family revenge by Arya. It's Peter Baelish has no business being given screen time next season. The writing's on the wall. It's just all there that points to his death. And this dagger, if D&D are bringing back this dagger, the minute we see the dagger on screen, that's the minute you realize that Peter Baelish is dead. That's the whole point of bringing back the blade, is to let the audience know who initially started the War of the Five Kings. The War of the Five Kings started over Peter Baelish's blade.
Well, and Peter Baelish, he started the whole bullshit. He got this whole shit jumped off. You know what I mean? He's the one that, it would be if the girls take him out. He gets taken out by two women, the ones he likes to manipulate the most. That's it. I mean, to me, it's better if Sweet Robin has some play in it too, because he's killed his father also, and his mother. So I think he has a lot of hatred that he deserves to get off on Peter Baelish. So that's why I think it'd be better like that. Probably in the books, that's the way it will go. But for the show purposes, I see 100%. I don't see any way other than right now Arya Stark taking out Peter Baelish. Now that brings us to this question: do you think that Arya Stark will be killed this season?
One last point on Peter Baelish. I just hope that they give us the treasure, the fruit from the forbidden tree that is Baelish's Sweet Robin's father. I hope that they just give us that nugget before they kill off Littlefinger.
You think that he's Sweet Robin's father?
Absolutely. It's a guarantee. It's almost 90% in my mind. I just hope that George R. R. Martin consults with D&D and lets them reveal that nugget, that fruit from the forbidden tree.
All right. So people in the chat and people watching this video later, put in the comment section, do you think Peter Baelish is Sweet Robin's father? You put it in there, and we will respond to every comment who puts their opinion in there. And if not, who? How about that?
When this video finishes, you can put it in the chat right now too, live while we're chatting, so we all know what you guys think. Yeah, tell us now too if you think Baelish is Robin's son. But we mean after the video's up and done, put it in the normal comments of this video. Do you believe Sweet Robin is Baelish's son? And then we'll count it. We'll count the number of yeses versus nos, and then we'll tomorrow on the Power Hour, we will let you guys know the results.
No doubt. We'll let you know exactly what's going on and who thinks what. And if you have an alternative theory, I think that's it. So final question about Arya this season. I guess we could ask is Arya Stark going to die? Let's go through one more question because I heard this too. Will Arya Stark take the face of Walder Frey this season? I think Walder Frey is casted again. So I think so. I really don't. I think if he's casted again, is it a flashback or it's Arya taking his face? I think most likely would have to be Arya taking his face. What do you think?
It would be the smart move. Arya, the short time she was in Braavos, already learned how to take faces, which we thought takes years to learn. So she's already figured it out. She knows the magic of taking faces. Now, if you just killed a major lord in his castle, would it not be smart to snatch his face so you could maneuver out of the castle, Teflon?
Yeah, I think that's the only way it could go. That's the case. If he is casted, there's no other person. It's not going to be a flashback for Walder Frey. You're not going to see Walder Frey at the tourney of Harrenhal. Won't see that in that flashback. So, do you think Arya Stark survives this season?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. She'll be fighting alongside Jon Snow until the end of time, however long it takes to defeat the Night's King. I already told everybody in one of my videos a couple months ago, the Night's King will win this season. He will win. The Night's King will not die at the end of this season. And if you think he is, you're going to be in for a horrible nightmare at the end of the season. He will either escape or he will overwhelm the Westerosi forces in the north. He won't die. So Arya will be alive to fight him in season 8 next year.
I'm going to say that I can't. I don't want her to die. So there's no way I'm going to say she's going to die. Period. I just not going. I just don't want to see it. I don't think that it halfway. I look at this as one season. So when I look at this as one season, halfway through the season, Arya Stark going to die halfway through the season. I can't see her dying if she was halfway through the season. It would have to be at least 3/4 of the way through. So I think she makes it to the next season. All right, Mo, we're going to take these questions from the chat real quick. You got whatever chat questions we got here real quick. And then we're going to be out of here.
I've only seen one question. I haven't seen that many today.
All right. What is that question?
Kevin Cleary asked, could Arya change faces with a white this season?
A white? Like she's a whisperer?
Like can she steal a white's face this season or a White Walker's face?
Like a White Walker, not a white, a zombie.
Not he says white, so I'm guessing he's saying both.
I don't think she's gonna be a whisperer, so I'm gonna say no on that front. As for taking a White Walker's face, I can't see because they shatter when they die. They turn to little crystals, so I can't see anyone taking their faces.
I can see Arya possibly using a white's face because there's going to be so many of them. They're going to be abundant. She kills one with the dagger, cuts its head off, then cuts the face off. But that would mean putting frost scale on yourself, which would be a terrible idea. Frost scale, ladies and gentlemen. Frost scale. She doesn't want to put frost scale on herself. That would be like stabbing yourself. She doesn't want to put frost scale on herself, Teflon.
Nah, no one want to catch that frost scale. Who want to catch that?
Absolutely not. With a White Walker, why not? I mean, it all boils down to how much magic the Faceless men have over the others.
Yeah, but when you see them get killed, they all disintegrate to little pieces of crystal. So they're not like they're laying there, and you can just go over and chop their face. So all you gotta do is touch them with the Valyrian steel. You ain't even gotta hit them hard. You know what I mean? Once you penetrate their flesh, they just dissolve. You ain't gotta wound them or nothing. You know, Sam killed them. So I can't see it going down like that.
Yeah, you're right. And it would be hard to cut off the face. What if the faceless men's god and the other's god are cousins? And they have similar powers, so that taking a face of a white makes Arya's power stronger because they're related gods.
You had to check out Mo Genie's video on the related god theory. You have to do a video on that one. Throw that down there.
Oh my God. Should I do a related gods video?
I would think so. I think you have to let them know more about that related god situation.
I might have to, man, because it's all up here in the noggin. And if you don't get that out the noggin and into a video, then it don't matter. It's like, does a tree fall down if nobody's there to hear it?
What do you think happens when Arya, the Hound, Brienne, and Pod all meet up at Winterfell? What do you think will happen there? That's from Extra Crispy.
If they meet up at Winterfell, it will be the time that Arya will be clued into everything that's happened in Westeros. She's been in Braavos for 1,000,000 years, so she doesn't know anything about what's been happening, what happened during the War of the Five Kings, what happened to her brother, what happened to Robb Stark, how did Robb Stark die, what happened to her.
What's going on here? I think Mo Genie, I think we may have lost him again. Real quick, he may have frozen up real quick. I think that what will happen when they all meet up really would be mostly the Hound and Arya. I think it will most likely be like a joke. Arya making the Hound will make a joke when he sees her again or something like that. I think Arya will be surprised that he's even alive. You know, Arya, and she make a joke about it and stuff. As for Brienne and them, I think that Arya is going to do some type of sparring or some type of sword work with Brienne and show her how nice she is. And Brienne will teach us some sword work in there. I think Arya will bust Pod's ass. I think you'll probably see her bust Pod's ass in a little sparring action this season. It may go down like that. So I think that's probably what's going to happen when you see him and stuff like that. Yeah, goddamn, Mo is Leroy goddamn Jenkins. I don't know, like he just keep bouncing off, just like Leroy Jenkins, without a doubt.
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, we can hear you right now.
Damn, man, I might have frost scale, man. I don't know what's going on.
You're like Leroy Jenkins up in this motherfucker, son. So go on with that question. What do you think happens when she runs into all those people?
Oh my God, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this shit's just going crazy right now. My bad. What was that? What was the last thing I was saying?
I don't remember exact words, but what will happen when Arya runs into the Hound and Brienne and all of them meet back up at Winterfell?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you already got what I said about the Hound cluing her in on everything. She's going to find out what happened to Robb. She's going to find out Jon was Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. And then Stannis overwhelmed him, and then Stannis helped him, and then Stannis died fighting. She's going to find out everything about everybody from the Hound and Beric Dondarrion. We will specifically talk about the Hound and Beric Dondarrion in another video, but there's going to be a lot of information that Arya gets when they all meet up at Winterfell.
Now, I want to answer this question. It's not dealing with Arya, it's dealing with Sansa. It says, how can Sansa not be pregnant? She's got to be pregnant. Now, should do this more on the Sansa video, but we'll do the question right here on the Arya Stark video because they're sisters. Now, I think that people believe Sansa is pregnant because we hear Ramsay say, I'm inside of you. I'll always be with you. I'm a piece of you. He says something like that to her. I think that it makes you think that that she's pregnant. Do you think in any way that Sansa is pregnant with Ramsay's child?
Nope. Nope. D&D wouldn't let that happen because nobody would love a bastard child that belonged to Ramsay Snow. If a bastard child was on the television show, nobody would love it because everybody would look at it as Ramsay's child. It's like a rape baby, unfortunately. You feel what I'm saying, man?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I can't see him doing that. After all she went through, jumping off of a building, rolling through the snow, doing all this and everything else. I don't know what that baby would have been eating, all that Night's Watch food. I don't know how, what kind of baby would have been left up in there. You know what I mean? So I just don't see how it would be that way, how it would go down like that. You know what I mean? So there's no way I could see that going down.
Sansa wouldn't love the baby. Sansa wouldn't love the baby. She would have that baby raised by a wet nurse.
No, she would moon tea that baby. She would kill that baby right inside of her.
Exactly.
Let me see. Doesn't Jon meet Arya first at Winterfell, given that she's up north and up beyond the wall after breathing cold air? Do you think that Jon will meet up with Arya this season?
Absolutely. She's wearing Winterfell gear. She's wearing Northern gear, and then the picture on the Entertainment Weekly. Come on now.
Yeah, she's got a lot of Winterfell clothes, and it takes Sansa a little bit to make those clothes. So, especially fitting her, they don't know her size and stuff like that. So she's spending some considerable amount of time there. I think her, Sansa, and Bran definitely meet up. Jon Snow, it's hard. I mean, there's a good chance that she doesn't meet up with Jon Snow. I don't know her. She does later on. It all depends how they do with Jon Snow. I think Jon Snow is going to leave. I said this in another video. Leave Winterfell. Then he's going to go to Dragonstone. Go straight. I think he goes straight to Dragonstone. He goes right up to the wall. Now, that's the only chance I see him meeting up with her, as after he goes from Dragonstone. If he goes back to Winterfell, then meets up, and then goes on the mission beyond the wall. That's the only way I see it really happening. I think when he goes from beyond the wall, I think he's going right down to King's Landing with the proof. That's where everything will get set. Unless he goes to Winterfell, then sends ravens out to everyone, and then has everyone gather at King's Landing for a parlay. Could be a situation like that.
Yeah, for sure. The thing is, right? There's no way Jon just doesn't see her. I don't see how you could let that happen in a show where she's already killed Walder Frey. She's already maneuvering to get back home. Now, the only way they don't see each other is if Jon Snow rushes to go meet Daenerys early in the season.
Well, the episode 2 title says that Daenerys gets a visitor. I would think that has to be Jon Snow by episode 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And, if Arya gets to Winterfell too late, that's the only way that she doesn't run into Jon, but everything, D&D are looking at a formula, okay? They saw Sansa and Jon's reunion last season, got a lot of people teary-eyed. Now, why wouldn't they do that again for ratings?
I hear you. And what I think it would be a good thing. But it would have to happen in episode 1. It have to be right off the bat. You got to get there. Now, one true David Adams want to know, is she coming to Winterfell by herself, or you think that she's going to meet up with the Brotherhood without banners first and then go to Winterfell with them? What do you think?
She definitely runs into the Brotherhood without banners first. The Brotherhood without banners, it's an easy move by D&D. She knows the Brotherhood without banners. She's eaten with the Brotherhood without banners. She's slept with the Brotherhood without banners. She's ran away from the Brotherhood without banners. Thoros, Amir, and Beric Dondarrion know Arya very, very well. And who's with the Brotherhood without banners? The Hound. Oh my God. It's like a recipe for the opposite of the recipe of disaster, man. It's the recipe of everything, man.
I hear you, but that seems like they will definitely hook back up. Seems like a good Stark reunion. I'm excited about Arya Stark. I think we have broken down this character for this hour, for the Power Hour. I'd like to thank everybody showing up in the chat and supporting us as always. Mo Genie, let these people know where they can find you.
All right, folks, it's Moji the King of the North Fits. Mo Genie, baby. You can catch me down in the description. Moji Osmond, MOEJII. Holla at your boy. I'm here.
No doubt about it. And if you like the way we do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and please subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.